controller, and it's sat at 2611 for a very long time. Until
looks like we're off.
Yep. You're seeing, looks like Kris started a little bit before, a little bit less stream delay. You're using Kris input a code he got from the remote controller. He actually doesn't have colorblind mode on. So you can see he has a colored code while ipie is just white. It's a little bit easier because you don't have to know where the colors are. So that code is randomly generated, ready to start, so it changes every time for every run.
Looks like ipie is ever so slightly ahead. It's hard to tell until we get a resync.
Yep, we're getting right now. It looks like ipie is about 3-4 seconds ahead. Maybe not that much. But this is still the first split. Anything can happen.
So the house mainly serves as the tutorial area, and after we get the light bulb and escape, we'll be presented with the first world of the game. That's when things begin to get infinitely more complex in terms of routing.
There's a lot to that, and when mashing gets real.
Yes, there's a lot of dialogue in the upcoming sections that, you know, it could make or break this race. Depending on how fast they spam. Because you talk to a lot of characters in this game.
Mm-hmm. With some very long dialogue sections. We see ipie about 2 seconds ahead or so, entering the Barrens here at the first world of the game. So while we're just here waiting, let's talk a little about the story for this game.
Oh my gosh.
And ipie's graphics. So you wake up as this cat person named Nico, and pretty quickly you're about to talk to a character named ProfitBot, who tells you that Nico is the messiah of this world, who can communicate with this world's quote-unquote god, who is you, the player. It actually pulls your PC name to give you your player name.
This game has many meta elements that are essential to completing the puzzles, and one of which is going to be done in such a creative way that speedrunners can use it fast. There's going to be a safe code coming up, and you can either use File Explorer or Notepad++ to access it the fastest.
Just think that there is they have to mash a little bit slowly and carefully there so that they don't overmash. If you mash too much and you go one dialogue box too far, you actually talk about the world with ProfitBot, which wastes a few seconds because you only talk about the computer before you're done. So every time you sleep in bed there, the game will close. Something that you have to set up a little bit is you have to figure out the best way to launch the game faster for you. It's different for different machines. Some players use an SSD, some players use a RAM disk. Whatever gets the game launched fast and saves you those frames. Because we do keep time even while the game's closed.
So it looks like ipie has grown his lead a little bit. The gap is definitely bigger.
I think he mashed a little bit faster and just got through the ProfitBot menu a little bit faster. All things that add up over time for sure. Every text box, if you mash it faster, will add up. So what you're seeing ipie do here is called SFT, or super fast travel. Basically, when you fast travel into an area, you go to the same place every time. So when you fast travel, the fastest way to get through a lot of areas is to go in, fast travel out, and then back in. This fast traveling takes about the same time as 8 or 9 steps. So if you're walking any more than that, SFT is faster. So you can see them doing that a lot during the run. Enter new area, fast travel out in the back end.
So now the players are going to be headed to the mines with Silver here. One important thing they'll do is that they'll touch the gate on the right side, so Silver doesn't have to walk as much.
Yep, Silver is a slow walker. She does not have auto run enabled.
No, unfortunately not. Also, What is? I think Kris may have.
Kris forgot the camera.
Yeah, Kris didn't even do the mine section.
Yeah, Kris forgot to go to the mine section and does not have the camera and can't.
Oh no!
I don't think he knows what the issue is.
I'm not sure if he's looking at chat or not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't realize what the issue is. He's forgot to go to the mine. Did he get the screwdriver from Silver, but then...
Yeah, I hope he realizes what's going on.
That is very unfortunate. That is huge time loss over just forgetting the route, which we see happen.
That might just decide the race.
Absolutely.
It's going to be very difficult for Kris to recover from that, sadly.
Because ipie looks like he's playing fairly well.
ipie hasn't made very many mistakes in his run so far.
So let's see what the safe code is. Due to the way that it scrolls, you want to get not 5s. 5 is the worst number you can get. That was not a good code.
It was decent.
It ended okay, but it was probably like below average.
Yeah.
There you go. Kris trying to remember what the route is. There you go, charging up his battery.
Alright, looks like Kris is gonna do it.
Yep. While ipie is here in the old factory using the crowbar one more time. Getting a lot of mileage out of that one.
Crowbar is very used in the stage.
Not forgetting the gloves there. It's very easy to forget to grab those gloves when you run back out after grabbing the sponge. Let's see what Kris gets for safe code though. Hopefully not 2 5s. Gonna need something really good to help him catch up here. So the thing interesting about the safe too is it's one of the few times where there's a lot of dialogue options in the game, and it's actually faster to scroll down one for the first option because you have a few less questions. One of the few times where that's actually a relevant amount of time save that's worth slowing down to switch.
So coming up, ipie is going to be going to the shrimp swamp to craft some items, which is going to require a lot of menuing. So we'll have to see how he handles it.
Yep, this is the second big menu section after the charge battery there. Charge battery being kind of notorious for being a little bit annoying. Equipping the empty bottle. So in the factory that Kris is in right now, there's directions for how to make a wet sponge that will clean off robots. Luckily, as runners, we know that what the documents say, so we're good without reading them. And ipie does do it correctly, makes a wet sponge, and can clean off this robot named Robot ROWBOT. Also known as Phil Swift.
Now that's a lot of damage. So
I don't think did Kris grab the syringe?
I was not looking at his feet at all.
I'm not sure if he did. It would be very fortunate if he didn't.
Pi is finishing up the Barrens here. And after he gets on the rowboat, he will be moving on to the Glen, which is the second area of the game.
My favorite area.
The way the world is made in this game, it's a flat circle. The outer circle is the Barrens, and the middle part is the Glen. And the very center is where the third area is, the refuge.
Yep, it's a very interesting design.
So in this game, the world is flat. Confirmed.
Just like Earth. ipie's timer, okay, there we go.
It's okay. They're still synced.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm trying to close the splits, I guess.
Probably pressed hotkey on accident.
Probably.
So yeah, everything here is a bit more lively, you know, a little more colorful.
A lot of trees. I really like this panoramic here with the fireflies. Oh, we got a gold split. That's why.
Ooh.
Fancy. Congratulations on the gold robot. Robot is a fairly long split, too. With the safe code, with the wet sponge menuing, and a giant masking section you see on Kris's screen with the chests. So it's usually one that you can save time on, and one that you can pretty much always gold with good mashing. I think ipie, that SFT is actually more than just a normal SFT. It skips a small cutscene. If you walk a couple more steps down, the character you just talked to, Calamus, will actually call out for his sister Alula. So by SFTing there, you not only get closer to him, you also skip the cutscene. And Kris is out of the Barrens as well.
There is a gigantic lead between the two players right now.
And ipie's having a good run and not letting it close.
There is one section later in the game that can soft lock you. So It is very possible that Pi could still lose, but it looks unlikely.
There's a big crash that was patched out fairly recently, actually. Notice text crashing, where if you accept it and decline a menu option or dialogue option at the same time, the game would freak out and crash. But luckily that is patched now.
I was also talking about kip skip.
Yep, I know. So there's only one way now to break the game, at least in the run. We're going to see on ipie screen is going to be doing the first tile puzzle of the game. There's a lot more coming up later, but for now this is the only one. There's a bunch of different routes to do this one. Let's see which route he does. It's actually, the movement in this game, it's not that difficult, but to do it quickly, to not lose time on stopping any tiles, it's pretty difficult to get every movement perfectly. Do you know how long you're on each tile for?
What'd you say?
The number. Do you know how long you're on each tile for? Like how long you have to move?
Off the top of my head, no.
I think it's like pattern. Yep, does mess up a little bit there, but does the faster route. Not faster if you mess up though. And that's Alula. So, judging by ipie splits, depending on what he's comparing against, he's still in the green, which is good. Would be nice to see PB here. I don't think we've seen a PB on stream so far.
As of yet, no.
I had a choke PB, but that's another story. Choke PB on this, I think the same run where Crude's got 1 second off world record.
Coming up here is what's known as the ram puzzle. You have to move all of these rams into the dark spots on the grass.
Yep, it's like strength puzzle from Pokemon, but with rams instead of rocks. Way more entertaining when they bat at you every time. Does the fast route though, that's good.
Yeah, that was very well executed.
Mm-hmm.
Does a slightly different route than I was expecting, but I think it might be faster.
There's been a lot of talk about which route's fastest for the Rams, including a few different conclusions being made about the fastest route. Does not get the novelty t-shirt. If you decline the offer there, and then you accept the next one, the trader will give you a t-shirt, which is used for entering a secret club. And that decision ipie just made, where it was a yes or no question, is actually like really important, because if you say no there, Calamus won't lead you to their house, and instead you have to walk all the way there yourself and lose about 15 seconds. And it's one of those things that it's a very big time loss just for hitting the wrong button once. So ipie there got the second glowing item there, very reminiscent of the amber he got earlier. It's a feather. And as you go back and grab the light bulb from Maze, while Kris is doing the ram puzzle. That's a bit of a mistake. Not too bad. Actually, I'm pretty sure Lori timed each ramp to be about 34 frames, so about half a second. Or 1 second. This game runs at 30 FPS, I think. I don't know.
No, it runs at 60.
Does it run 60? Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. I had to think about that one for a second, yeah. And ipie is about to go to sleep and be done with the Glen. Oh, Kris is going back here to talk to Calamus. ipie extending his lead here with some pretty good a pretty good Glen overall.
Very impressive so far.
For sure. Still in the green, looks like.
Also, for those who do not know, this is a best of 3.
Yep.
So after this race, there will be at least one more.
I mean, mashing is pretty good today, for sure.
Ooh, clean menu right there.
Mm-hmm. Walking into walls a little bit.
Happens to everybody.
Yep. It's one of those things that's a very small time loss, but it's so easy to get hung up on it because it's annoying. There you go, out of the Glen. We're about to head into the last area, the refuge, the big sprawling city. But not before getting chased by some squares. So, while Kris is grabbing the light bulb and ipie is just running from squares, there's actually a very funny thing that can happen in this game. If you don't grab the light bulb like Kris is doing now, and you keep going, you can sleep and everything. Then you go to the guard to let you out of the Glen, and the game will say, "Aren't you forgetting something?" And it's one of those like big speedrunning memes that we have, because a lot of runners have had runs die to forgetting the light bulb. But neither runner does today. And Kris going to sleep now. Finishing off Glen's sleep at about, you see the game launch up, 16:26.
So, right now we're meeting a character called the Lamplighter. He'll be a key character during the entire refuge segment. And first, ipie is going to be getting some fast travels, and then going to sleep before collecting all the elements needed for the elevator button, which you have to fix.
Also, I checked ipie's stream, and going out of Glen, he is -2.8. So this is actually PB pace for him.
Ooh, this is huge,
right?
This could be something.
ipie was actually the slowest PB out of all of our runners. Although he did get 6th seed due to the way we did seeding.
So right now, ipie has a 27.57, and to advance on the leaderboard, he'll need to get a 27.37 or below.
Who has 37? Who's right below him?
KP.
Such KP. Another fairly new runner. That is very exciting. There's always time save in tower at the very end. So let's see. We can see what happens. Kris just now entering refuge as well. And ipie, if you notice, there's a missing elevator button on the elevator. Very difficult to go down, so you have to assemble some things to make a new button. Starting with a convenient pair of scissors.
You can be very creative with this, Nico.
Yes. I think I really like how the button that you use is actually a coffee tin that's just ground on it. It's a very good joke in my opinion.
Hey, if it works, it works.
It's just funny that like it says ground, which is like a requirement. And there's the magnetized button. If you put this directly into the elevator door, like most players probably do, you'll get an item called "You Tried" as it breaks. Which is kind of funny, but not worth the time loss for the speedrun. So you have to go tape it up in the office here. We've tried a lot of different routes for different fast travels instead of walking all this way. But due to the, I think like I said earlier, it saves about 8 steps if you SFT quickly. And it's actually about 8 steps to go into the office, so it doesn't save any time.
Dang.
You only lose time if you do it slowly, which is very easy. There's some squares there, not too bad. So if you looked on Kris's screen, you'll see he fast traveled right out of the bedroom. It's the only place in the game you can do that, where you can fast travel out of an indoor area. A little weird, don't know why that is, but we'll accept the time save. And ipie had a pretty good code there, or code input, same code every time, but he input it well.
So this elevator section is pretty funny because there are 3 options you can choose, or 3 questions you can ask. And alongside those 3 questions, you can choose to resume the awkward silence. Funny enough, this last option takes longer than running through all the questions.
It's very awkward and silent. Even if you have bad mashing, it's easier to mash through all 3 options.
ipie is going to be setting up for the biggest skip in the entire game right now. He's going to be getting some fast travels before going to the library and performing Kip Skip.
This routing's actually really interesting, the way that you grab that back alley fast travel, get the library, and then go right back out and grab the vendor street up here. Pretty cool stuff. So yes, this skip is known as Kip Skip. Probably not the most apt name for it, but you do skip a character named Kip, and it's a really cute name, so it stuck. So all you do is you close the game, and when you launch it again, you actually skip a cutscene where the book plot will try to push you back out, but due to you closing the game, the cutscene that you get for launching the game back up, where Nico says is really dark, overrides the cutscene.
This character is named George, and they are randomized every single time. You can get a number between 1 and 6, and each George has a different amount of dialogue.
Yep, so you can lose a few seconds due to just bad George RNG, including George 3, which is the slowest one because of a lot of ellipses, which are slow. You got a little bit of a nightmare there. So now, while Nico slept, George here translated the journal you got way earlier in the game in the safe, and realized you need 3 of these glowing phosphor items. So you have the amber from Silver, you have the feather from Alula and Calamus, and now you have the dye from George.
I had a look at ipie's stream real fast, and he is 6 seconds ahead of his PB.
That's pretty epic.
That is very epic.
He's had a very good run, not very many mistakes and good mashing. But not very many mistakes. I can't think of any real mistakes he had. Nico there is a little bit hungry. Unfortunately, in the speedrun, we can't feed him pancakes.
Yeah, it would just take too long, unfortunately.
But I do feel bad every time.
Yeah.
So there's a very subtle puzzle coming up on ipie's screen, and how to enter the tower. As you walk into here, the base of the tower, a giant red X. What could that mean?
Means you gotta close the game.
Yep. Well, Chris, the game's about to close as it goes to sleep. This gap is definitely widening between the two. So ipie's about to start at the tower. You cannot communicate with Nico here. Nico is just very scared, and there's no light bulb, so it's just a dark, black, empty room. And you can wander around here for a while, but the computer, I believe this room loops is how it works, and the computer is in the same spot every time, so if you know how far to walk, you don't miss it.
You can usually just walk in a diagonal pattern, and you should be able to see it.
Yep. ipie going a little bit more precise with that one, you're getting pretty close to it.
So after this sleep lies the final section of the game, which involves some puzzles. And it can be risky. It's very easy to make mistakes on these puzzles, and if you do, you'll lose potentially a lot of time. But since both players did not crash on Kip Skip, it looks like ipie will be securing the win unless something totally new happens. Or Chris finds a wrong warp right now.
There is a light bulb puzzle, so it's always possible to catch up. Although it does seem unlikely the way ipie is playing right now. His first part here is a maze. It's the same: left, up, up, right, left, down, down every time.
Thank goodness these are not randomized.
Yep. Actually, the way to solve these puzzles is very cool. The Clover program you saw ipie open, which is required to progress in the game. It's required to before you wake up from the sleep at the end here. This clever program will tell you which door to go through, where to go, what the tile puzzles look like. It's a very cool puzzle solving mechanic. But ipie does probably have a notepad with the door pattern. If Laura were here, she could rattle off every door number, but I don't have it memorized.
ipie is currently 12 seconds ahead of
That's
PB. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens on light bulb.
Yep, didn't mess up the tower so far. There's 4 tile puzzles here, and each one is fairly easy to mess up. Some of them more devastating than others. Pretty good there. This single dot is actually like one of the most annoying if you mess it up. But the light bulb is the real run killer a lot of times. I've had my own runs die to this puzzle before. Little mistake there, but not too bad. Recovers quickly.
And that's it.
There's not a whole lot of time to lose anymore. ipie probably going to PB here. Pretty good PB as well.
So from here on out, ipie just has to essentially walk to the end of the game.
Yep. Hit enter a few times. A little bit of mashing at the end.
But it's not going to change the outcome here.
You're not going to lose more than a couple seconds on that, ever. So the time to beat ipie, 27:57. With no mistakes in tower, it's pretty easy for him to beat that one. But the time to beat to move into 10th place, to take top 10, is a 27:37. Kris is in tower going through the doors right here, while ipie is finishing up the run. Are we going to see, we're roughly going to see the first PB.
This is amazing. We're making history right here.
Absolutely. Always nice to get a fully commentated PB. Kris, a little bit different strat there on this tile puzzle.
Ooh, I think Pi is gonna do it.
Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, this is gonna be like a 32, a 30, not 32, but like 30, 33, 34. 27:33 from ipie, a new PB and a 10th place run.
Wow.
Congratulations to ipie.
Awesome. ipie has moved into the top 10.
We got a PogChamp there. And you can see his notepad there actually with the tower puzzles. Kris finished the light bulb puzzle, but too little too late. ipie with 27:33. A very good run from him. Just kept getting better and better. No real mistakes there. A couple small missteps on the tile puzzles, nothing more than a second or two. Although, without a couple of those missteps, he could have actually gotten 8th place. Or 9th place, actually.
Very impressive performance by ipie.
Absolutely. Really cool to see a PB in a race. But can he do it again?
Only time can tell.
Yep. Kris in the elevator here, the final elevator. So before the tournament started, I'm pretty sure, before seeding, ipie's PB was a 29:06. And then during seeding, he got a 28:10, and then this 27:57, which was old PB. So since before the tournament, he went from a 29 down to this 27:33, which is pretty good. Moving up in the world. Kris finishing at 29.43.
Anyway, ipie has 1 point, and with that, we'll be moving on into race 2. This could be the very last race.
Yep. If you see a time difference that big again, it definitely will be.
Or Kris could make the most epic comeback in the history of one-shot. Anything can happen.
Kris
yeah,
lost
we'll
a lot of
be
time
setting
to a lot of time right at the start, especially for not knowing the route and forgetting the camera, which probably lost him over a minute, honestly. Which you hate to see happen. So with that a little bit ironed out, hopefully we can get a better race 2, a much closer one.
On the other hand, the only item that would be one.
Oh wait, I'm done. Moved in. I got it. Okay. So as soon as Kris finishes up the credits, we're gonna move into game 2 there. Taking a quick break. Shout out to ipie's start screen here.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's actually really funny with the cross off there. This started as a big meme where we made the mistake of playing with the files and learned how easy it is to edit some of the textures in the game. And ipie takes it to another level. Lori made a bunch of us custom start screens, which I actually use mine still. Made it in MS Paint. It's pretty nice. ipie spent a lot of time putting work into his custom graphics.
All of the game's textures, music, can be found in plain folders in the CMaps directory.
Yep.
So all you have to do is replace the image in the folder and it'll show up. That's all there is to it.
Yep, there's a lot of stuff you can go around and edit. ipie was spending a lot of time working on walk cycles for Nico, which I believe walk cycles are 4 frames. There's 4 different frames of him walking, so.
And if you like some of the panoramics in the game, you can also use them as wallpapers if you extract them. Shoutouts to Night Margin for making all of the game's visuals.
Mm-hmm. It's a very beautiful game. Even if ipie does ruin it in this race, I'm not sure. Like I said, ipie did apologize to the devs in Discord.
If any devs are watching, I apologize on behalf of ipie.
Again. But we'll see. We did see Phil Swift last race, or the last set. That's a really good edit, by the way. I'm a big fan of Phil.
Oh yeah.
We have one runner back. We have another one taking a break really quickly. Warming up his hands, it looks like. With all the mashing in this game, you definitely do not want cold hands. That sounds painful. So what do you think? Do you think we're going to see game 3?
It seems like Kris is pretty rusty. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of hard to say. Although seems like ipie is a lot more warmed up than he is at the moment, but that could change in game 2. You know, they both had time to relearn the route.
Yeah, definitely. We did see some good mashing from Kris still, even with all the rest, which is helpful. Only time will tell. Only about 27 minutes and 33 seconds will tell. So anyone in chat while waiting, make sure to check out both the runners. I don't think Kris streams a lot, but ipie definitely streams. You can definitely catch him live sometimes. Pretty cool. You can catch some more one-shot races. We have another one tomorrow at 3 p.m. EST, I believe. Between Durbill and Lori, I'm pretty sure, unless I'm wrong, which is very possible. Survey says, yep, Lori versus Dur tomorrow at 3 p.m. EST on Speed Gaming 3. And then this weekend we have Crudes versus Whom on Sunday at 5 p.m. EST, which that's going to be a really big one. That is our first place and second place runner going at it in round 2 of winners, which I'm excited to commentate that one. That is the Battle of Titans for sure. Before this tournament started, Whom had, before the actual tournament, like in between seeding a tournament, Whom had a 25-51, dropped it down to 25-49. Was in third place with Crudes, and Crudes had a 25-37. But before, when Crudes was warming up for his race, his first round of winners race, he got a 25-39 PB, second place PB, and then tied it again in the race. It was on world record pace, but I made a couple mistakes and didn't quite get it. But it was a very exciting race to watch for sure, seeing such an amazing run. I actually did see Cruz also getting a 25-38, 1 second off a world record in his race, which is insane to see. So that race is going to be super exciting. Anything can happen. But anything can happen in this race too, as soon as both our runners are back. Okay, both our runners are here, so we're going to get started on game 2.
Awesome.
Let's make sure they're both ready. Making sure they're actually starting at the right time and not starting on the menu, because the game does start at the last text box of the bed. A little bit of a weird timing system instead of starting on the menu, but it makes a lot of sense for the run. If you missed game 1, we saw ipie get a PB at 27-33 to take game 1. We're getting into game 2. Kris is opening up his game, it looks like. Did I start an accident? It's funny. Awesome. Oh my god, ipie. ipie's art is... Oh, there it is.
Hollow Knight!
Kris Kris did the same thing and accidentally went too far. ipie spent a lot of time on this one, on Hollow Knight. Had to animate 4-frame walk cycles for Hollow Knight there. Pulling assets from the game and making it work here. That looks really good. I am very impressed with this. Although I'm pretty sure, something to note though, is I think the rules say time ends when Nico makes the final decision. Nico isn't in this game anymore. Nico's gone.
This is Hollow Shot.
This is a Hollow Shot. One skull. Get ready to do a countdown. This is stream sync, so we'll be ready to go. So good luck to both runners. And let's see a good race. With Hollow Knight versus Nico. ipie spent a lot of time on this texture. It looks really good. And this is so funny. Any second now, we should be off. There we go. I've been already making a mistake going one step too far. $7503 PC code from ipie. And Kris actually doesn't have color by mode on still, I believe. Yep. 4301, but in different colors. I don't know the color order.
Clippy!
Clippy's back. Kris messed up the code.
This is going to be a fun race.
You put 0 and 8 wrong? Nope, 01. Okay. Nope. Kris does not remember his elevator, his remote code. That's why color by mode is weird, because it's just one more thing to remember. I thought sound effects have changed. This is too much. ipie has a massive lead though because of Kris forgetting the computer code. Very unfortunate. We're seeing ipie grabbing light bulb at a low 59. It looks like every runner seems to split at a different time for the house, so a lot of us like to compare light bulb grabs for the time our house splits. Look at this walk cycle. This is so good.
I love this mod so much.
This is amazing. Yep, I've had a 59 light bulb grab. Kris with a 119. So 20 seconds separating them. It's a very big lead right off the start there. ipie already behind his new PB. There he is. Our boy. Looking up at the tower gracefully. Yeet dab.
Yeet dab.
There's no words for this. It commentates itself. They're missing the exact same route, obviously, of this race. The light bulb is bouncing up there. Something funny to see is all the different walk patterns different runners have. Like, I know Kona likes to go high and enter the screen a little bit higher, whereas a lot of runners like to go where ipie did, next to that rock. They just have to walk straight to Profit Bot. There's no time lost by turning in this game, so it's invaders in.
Is that Gur, also known as Cheezer?
Gur, yeah. That is not Gur the developer. That is Gur the alien. I don't know the lore of that show.
The robotic servant.
ipie's changing his name.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god. ipie changing his name to Yeet Dab in the game. Probably losing like, I don't know, what, 8 seconds there?
Yeah.
At least. That was a really good input though.
He's confident in this win.
He's confident in his win. He's confident in Yeet Dab. That sound gets me every time.
I love this sound. That is incredible.
This might be the worst one-shot race I've ever seen. ipie. Instead of letting us see the normal dream sequence, has to take it from us. That's really good. A little slow on that dialogue option there, but overall pretty good matching for ipie. Although fast travel to the entrance, not the outpost. Wrong spot there, buddy. Maybe Hollow Knight does another route.
Oh, slipped up on the rod a bit there.
Yes, we see Kris actually caught up pretty much to ipie. Much less of a difference in between them now. Probably due to Yeet Dab.
Was it worth it though? Probably.
Depends on what you're going for. If you're going for speed, no. But if you're going for style, absolutely. So this one probably can't be beat for ipie anymore. At least I hope not. It's silver.
Literally silver.
Mm-hmm. I think he did that last race as well. That seems familiar. Kris talking to the left side of the mines there, making Silver walk a little bit further. And then what's funny is you still enter on the right side of the mines anyways. Hollow Knight gets too close to the edge there, and Silver has to say stop. I don't know what to do anymore. So we're going to see both of them make this charge battery here. This charge battery can be a little bit difficult to make. There's a lot of parts to it, and it's also weird hard to fast travel apparently. A lot of parts to it, and there's just a lot of very small dialogue sections that you have to mash through. And if you mash through them too quickly, you'll close the menu like that, or select the wrong item. Kris actually saw talk to the note next to the safe there, telling you how to assemble a charge battery. Hopefully Kris learned. Yep, did make the charge battery correctly, so maybe the note helped him. Let's see what ipie gets for PC code here. Or a safe code, rather.
What was that audio clip I just heard?
I don't know.
I heard something, but I couldn't make out what it was saying.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it either.
If anyone in chat knows, feel free to post it.
ipie mashed into the safe dialogue multiple times. And Kris
Kris looks a little lost.
Kris looks very lost. There you go.
Hey.
First try. And see ipie's code. I did, however, hear that music.
ipie got 319861.
Thank you. Both of them with pretty mediocre codes. Fairly average.
Yeah, again, nothing you can do to influence the codes.
Nope.
So you get what you get.
It's one of those things where a lot of runners like to complain about safe RNG just because it's one of those things you can't control in the run, so it's easy to complain about. I saw how he changed his gas mask sprite too, but I didn't see what it was. That mask is not quite. It's looking the same way every time. ipie not SFTing there, just walking for a little bit there. Getting Hollow Knight some leg workout. I don't know why the mask wasn't turning for a second there, that's a little weird. But this race is a lot closer due to a few things, mostly on ipie's part. Because Kris has had a fantastic race necessarily.
He get lost for a few moments, but...
Yep, the mask does not want to turn. Oh, it's April Fool's, Nico.
Oh, yeah. That face was available for an April Fool's update.
I believe any day your computer's clock is set to April Fool's, it'll do that. So on April 1st, we're all going to do runs and have Nico look like that. It's a really good
I'm very excited for that.
Yep. Imagine that would happen like during a GDQ. Obviously it doesn't, but that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, if only they were in April.
Where's ipie going?
Where's ipie going?
ipie.
Ipie. What?
ipie got lost. ipie does not know where Robot is.
Yeah,
not a robot. No.
Well, it looks like Kris is ahead
Kris
now.
takes the lead. Which means
that was very surprising, but
yeah, very unfortunate screw up from ipie there.
Still very close.
Yeah, for sure. ipie was saying he wants to stay in the lead so that he keeps his audio, so we're making sure to stay true to how this works, and Kris has the audio for now. Also, shout out to Silver giving him the flex steal. This chat section is probably the longest matching section in any percent. There's a very long one in Solstice, but... Oh, ipie gains the lead back with that mashing. Just barely. Both of them are equal here, going fast traveling into the docks. Very funny. And ipie remembers where the robot is.
Oh yeah. Now ipie is going to be moving on to the Glen. Oh no. Oh no. Now that's a lot of damage.
Oh my god. I knew it was coming, but I wasn't ready.
Can we get some Phil Swift hype in the chat?
Starting at the Glen here. Nice panoramic with Hollow Knight. There he is. Hollow Knight's very tiny in that one, I don't know why.
Why is Hollow Knight so tiny? It's a different... It looks like a different render. But it's not. Maybe it's flipped horizontally. That might be it.
Maybe.
Yeah, no hype for Phil Swift. That's okay, though.
It's okay, we got enough hype from going up for Phil Swift.
Yeah. And you're hyped.
Oh.
Is that really DJ Grooves?
There he is.
Hat in time.
DJ Grooves. It's him. I'm pretty sure Lori had mentioned that, like, during ipie's first race, that was what Lori was expecting Calamus or Lulu to be.
That's awesome.
He's here now to bless our run.
Our boy Grooves.
It's just something funny. On Kris's screen, you're going to see it. That robot right there likes to walk down in Nico's path. It's a very annoying thing. You lose, like, a few steps, but very frustrating when it happens. That light bulb bouncing in Hollow Knight's hand does not look quite right. Then there's Maze coming up. Maze is just corn. That was my idea. I took my idea. I couldn't do that to Maze. Maze is my favorite character in the game, and I could not make her corn. But there she is, in all our corny glory. Let's see, ipie screwed up. This is one of the few things ipie had a decent mistake on, was this Lula puzzle. Had a little bit of a misstep there, went too far, couldn't get in the middle bulb. So let's see if he can fix that this time, and walk into less walls, hopefully. We're seeing just a few second lead here from ipie. Oof. ipie going for something. Not quite the normal route, but whatever works. Kris going for a similar route there. So, very interesting.
What does that say?
What does what say?
There was an image for Alula.
Oh, I didn't see it. I should have looked. I don't know why I didn't look. We'll see it when he talks to the shepherd, hopefully.
It was just a colorful image with text on it, and I couldn't read it.
Hopefully we can read it during that, or first games. We can read it during when you get the feather. Hollow Knight here about to push some rams. Talking to the demon ram there.
OS Kona.
OS Kona.
Oh yeah. Alright, what does this say?
It's an oof. Sorry, Lori. No.
Sorry, Lori. Something.
I don't remember what it is Lori wanted for Alula, so probably whatever she wanted. Oh my god. I can't deal with this.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh.
We're actually a really close race though. As a meme as this is. Oh. ipie missed the fast travel there. ipie not able to talk to Calamus. Too many memes, I agree. Sorry, Lori, your conductor something. No conductor for you. Sorry, Lori, no conductor for you. There it is. So, sorry, Lori. I think Lori's probably still in chat here.
No, Aqua. The memes have to keep going.
No, Aquana, I'm with you.
Is that a feather from Minecraft?
I think so.
That was a feather texture from Minecraft. Also, the runners are identical now. Pretty much.
There's like less than a second between them.
If ipie loses the race because he named his character Yeet Dab, that's gonna be something else.
I will definitely laugh. Like I hate to say he deserves it, but like he would deserve it. This run overall is just less clean from ipie. There's been a few more mistakes. Seeing them both very even going out of that Glen sleep. Another dream sequence with cat photos.
How do I make these less awkward? With cat photos. Wow, look at the sync. Alright, ipie a little faster in mashing.
Yeah, ipie definitely showing that the bottle died feather dies from Minecraft. Oh, that.
It's the meme.
It's the meme, the bodyguard meme. You can't pass. That's really funny. Hollow Knight making his way out while Nico does the same thing there. Being chased by the squares, I'm about to enter the refuge, which actually, I really love this panoramic as well. With or without Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight can barely see over the ledge there. I like this panoramic and the big purple rectangle of tower right there on the side. And it's the distorted red.
Wait, what is that?
The joke.
I have no idea what that says.
I don't know, it's something about the joke. If someone wants to read that, go ahead.
I'll figure out what it is.
Okay, you got it. not too much happening right now, so let's see what Lamplighter is. Lamplighter didn't change. That's insane. That's the one I changed, and ipie couldn't even think of anything or copy my meme. SMH ipie, letting us down.
All right, Twitch clips aren't working for me, so I'll have to try again later.
Aye. ipie didn't grab the coffee grounds, the coffee tin. So is he gonna fast travel back then? I guess after sleep, fast travel to cafe. Or maybe he just forgot. I don't know. Aw, kitties. Big fan. Uh-oh. We got a warning. Also, I'd like to point out, I just saw ipie's game say yeet dab, and I was not a fan. There you go, ipie. I think ipie probably forced a habit went to the elevator deck there, but now going back to the cafe retroactively. Remember seeing the sink from the runners there.
Ooh, look at the sink.
We're seeing Kris like a couple frames ahead probably, but like it's gonna change as soon as they match the scissors probably.
This could be closer than our race today.
Our race that was 20 frames apart.
Yeah, we were 20 frames apart from each other. Alright, Kris slightly ahead. Ever so slightly ahead.
Mm-hmm. That'll probably change when we come to the next. Oh, never mind.
Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? There's no time for Penguin. You're falling behind. What are you doing, ipie?
ipie was approximately like.
Oh no!
Like approximately like probably 20 frames behind. Leaves the main room. the Penguin. Oh my god, ipie.
Did ipie just throw the race for hello Penguin?
There's still plenty of racing, especially with this tower.
Yeah, for sure. But
if Kris doesn't mess up, if Kris keeps a good run, then ipie threw how close he was for the meme. I hope the meme was worth it.
I mean, hello Penguin is always worth it, but this could cost him the race.
Definitely, I thought he was gonna go for the Roomba too, to be honest.
Yeah, he found a way to preserve the speed of the Roomba outside of that room.
The speed of the Roomba, that's the exact same as your running speed.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Confirmed by Dev. Let's see if Kris can input this code quickly. 63014, the same every time. Maybe. There you go. ipie caught up a little bit there. Dude, just been good mashing and menuing. Let's see. We saw ipie had a pretty decent amount faster mashing before, so if he can mash really well in this elevator section, he could actually get in the lead back. And definitely probably by the end of library. You can see a few more yeet dabs here. Although Kris's mashing has gotten smoother this run so far.
So if you weren't here for the previous race, right now both of the runners are going to be setting up for a skip called Kip Skip. This is the biggest skip in the entire game. It skips an entire section of the refuge. And first the players are going to be getting a few fast travels, and then they'll be performing the skip. The skip's kind of dangerous because you can soft lock permanently if you do it incorrectly. There's a very short window for this, so we'll see how both the runners fare.
Yep, it is not so precise that it's a huge risk, especially this late into the game, but it is precise enough that you have to be careful, otherwise you can just lose right there. We see Kris a few seconds ahead going into Kip Skip due to a little bit of shenanigans from ipie. A lot of shenanigans from ipie.
Yep, ipie also got it. Although it's not over yet because the runners are...
I can't commentate this.
Is that a night margin phase?
Oh my god. I can't tell. I don't know the doors numbers. I don't know which one's which. So
That
I know
is
it's not
wild.
3. If anyone in chat, if Lori's in chat and you know what George that is, feel free to say. Dunk. Oh. Oh my god.
Did ipie make that, or is that night margin?
Probably ipie. I'm pretty sure that was ipie. Good stream asking through this new journal text. Let's say Sweetie and Deer, which is like the motherly one. I feel like that one's 5, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong.
I haven't memorized the numbers yet.
I haven't either. I just pretty sure I've looked that up before. I know I've looked it up before. I think that's what I said when I looked it up. Chris about to head into the tower here. The motherly and kind one, which is the one that ipie got, was in George 5, which is the fastest George. So ipie getting rewarded for this shenanigans, for these memes by RNGesus. Although Chris still ahead, even with the slower George entering tower a few seconds earlier. No, the game stays being timed. It's a consistent time from when you open the game the first time, from when you start the timer the first time to when you finish the game.
This game does not have a load remover, unfortunately.
Nope.
Also,
No
look at the
remover.
sync. Kind of sync. They're a few seconds off.
A few things off. The timers are synced though. ipie is just slower because of a couple memes, a lot of memes.
Yeah, coming up now is the puzzle section of the tower, and you can very easily make mistakes here. So
Yes,
it's very
for sure.
possible that we could see a position change.
There's a lot of mistakes to make. ipie definitely made his fair share last time. Chris actually had a fairly decent tower. No coat Nico. Okay. And that's the last dream sequence, so we're all done with those from ipie. See how Chris does in the maze. Left, up, right, left, down here for the first section.
Unlike some of the other puzzles, these are always the same. They're not randomized. So you can just memorize the solutions or have them up in the word pad.
Lori actually knows the number for this next section. Now Chris is creating the doors. Lori knows a number for every door that you go through. And Chris messed up already. Went through the wrong door. Again. There you go. Fixed it. Giving ipie time to get it up. ipie flying through this while Chris is hesitating a little bit longer. But Chris speeding up a little bit. I don't know if he's watching the stream, if he knows how close this race is. Look, the iPad's making mistakes too, maybe?
Alright, Chris is on the tile section.
Yep. 3 more tile puzzles for Chris. And then after that, just a big section of hitting enter. Chris starting off the light bulb puzzle. Going for an older shot, the shot I actually used to do until fairly recently. A little bit slower, about 10 steps slower than I think the shot that ipie uses.
Alright, Chris.
Chris finishing up the light bulb puzzle about the same time that ipie is starting it. A little bit before, actually. Does get the 1 step back there. If you're holding a direction whenever the tile puzzle finishes, you actually take another step. which can be used to get you one step closer to where you want to be. Looks like ipie is going light with puzzle, finishing it off. But Kris is in the lead. It's going to take a lot of mess ups or some really bad mashing for him to lose this.
It's very unlikely.
Very unlikely for sure. So we're going to see game 3, it looks like. The first one. The first of many, hopefully, for a good tournament. Kris hitting enter as fast as he can here to get rid of these dialog boxes. Can't see them on his screen, you'll see them on ipie's in a second. We're going to see Kris enter the elevator at, it fades to black at about 28:09. We'll see when ipie gets there. We could way to judge the time difference between the two. A little over 10 seconds there. 28:23.
I can't believe ipie
threw the runaway multiple times. I don't think ipie knew how close this race was. I don't know.
I doubt he would have gone for the penguin if he knew.
Yeah, if he knew that he was literally like a few frames behind.
So it looks like officially Kris wins, and we'll be moving on to round 3.
Kris smashing the light bulb there, finishing with the 28:51. Both of these timings, the time ends whenever you select an option. Fight the sun. Oh my god. What a massive meme. I don't even know. Guess we're going into game 3.
Yeah.
I wonder if ipie has more memes for game 3, or if he's gonna use Hollow Knight again, if we're gonna see Nico back.
Yeah, who knows?
Might have entirely new batch of memes that we don't even know about. But that was a lot. That was a lot of information to take in that run. So ipie finished with a 29:07 versus Kris's 28:51. That is a 16-second difference. And ipie lost definitely more than 16 seconds to some of the memes that he decided to lose time on to go for, such as changing his name to Yeet Dab and the Penguin.
Apparently he knew about it.
Yeah, he says he didn't know how close that race was, and just decided the memes were more important than the race. Oh, this title screen is new.
Night.
Sorry, no new memes for this round. Okay.
It's all good.
I think ipie spent more time prepping his memes than he did playing the game. But that's a very good looking title screen. Like, I'm actually a big fan of that.
Anyway, we should probably get this one started soon because our slot only runs until 11:30 Eastern.
Yep.
So we need to get going because we need time for the interview and all that.
Yeah. So as both runners are resetting here, let's see what ipie decides to do this race. Let's see if he just plays the game normally and quickly. No name change this time, hopefully. And Kris is deleting his files. In order to restart the game, you have to actually delete some files. Takes a little bit of time, makes it very annoying, and resetting at the beginning over and over again. ipie is ready. Hopefully Kris is soon.
Alright, you got the countdown?
Yep.
Cool.
So as soon as we're caught up, we're going to be getting into Game 3. The first Game 3 of the tournament. Due to some memes. Hollow Knight versus Nico. It's a classic showdown, the one everyone's been waiting for. Everyone is truly here. I think my Dream Smash roster does include Nico, Hollow Knight, and Phil Swift.
I would love to see a fight between Nico and Hollow Knight in Smash. Anyway, we're off to the races.
Kris had a lot of trouble with this remote last time. 4652, but colors, so I don't know. I still don't know the colors. Never have, probably never will. Did input it right though. That's good.
So, yeah, so far they're pretty even for the most part. They're not synced, so it's kind of hard to tell, but
yeah. So ipie, first race got a high 58 light bulb grab. Second race got a mid 59 light bulb grab. I think he's on pace for another 59. It looks like. So pretty consistent in this house. Whereas Kris, I mean, probably on the best house he's had so far. I think his first house like a 109 light bulb grab. The second one he messed up the code a lot, so both winners on a decent start. And we're only about a second desynced, so not too bad.
And with that, the runners are leaving house. ipie in the lead.
And we're going to see some more Hollow Knight here in a second, this panoramic. This one actually with Hollow Knight at a more appropriate scale. So ipie here going to Profit Bot. We're going to see some more mashing. Yeah, it's funny to see the different routes that Kris and ipie take just to get to this bot here. Because every runner has their own little way of going about it. That one's pretty similar to what Kona does, right? What you do?
Yeah. I usually enter a bit more high and then walk down once I enter the tile.
It's just funny because, like, obviously it's no time difference. It's just a funny, like, a few ways to change how you play, make it your own run.
For all the new watchers, ipie is running some mods, some visual mods that do not affect the gameplay, but they're really funny.
So, something funny to note is Kris, every time he's talked to the top tile that bed's there, you see whenever he enters the bed, ipie goes to the bottom tile and just goes right in. Kris talks to the top tile and has to walk down a step. Every bed has the certain tile that Nico will always enter on, and for this bed it happens to be the bottom one. Most beds, it's one side in the middle, but this bed's the bottom. So, there's actually, you lose a tiny bit of time from Nico having to walk there, but Kris walking to the top tile. Very small difference, but one of the things you might as well just walk down a tile, save the frames. And a little bit of an early lead from ipie here. Some super fast travels into the cliffs here. Pretty decent. If you're fast enough, you can technically get it where you hit down or up or whatever to go to another fast travel with another area, and then hit accept before it even has time to scroll, which is like frame perfect SFT. It's very difficult to do, and if you miss it, then you just lose time for closing the menu.
Shout out to that silver icon.
This entire texture mod. Yeah, if you want to know what the game's supposed to look like, you can look at Kris's screen, or if you want to watch memes, you can look at ipie's.
So yeah, for all the new people who may have not watched our introduction for this game may not seem like a technical game at first, especially if you've played it before, but there's a surprisingly high skill ceiling for this. To go fast, you have to mash extremely fast, which is not an easy thing to do.
Nope.
And item combinations and fast traveling can really set you back if you mess it up. There's also tile puzzles, which you have to memorize and execute the solutions to perfectly. And there's also a various route.
There's also not talking to that note there that ipie talked to.
Yeah.
That is not part of the route. You see, even just in the small menu section that ipie just did, there's a lot of mistakes there just because of how difficult it is to nail that perfectly. To match through it all, to get the right items, to not close the menu on accident, to select the thing you want to select at the very end. There's a lot that goes into it, and then to do it quickly on top of all that.
Flip roast? Almost. You have to deliver the sun to the tower so that the world can be enlightened again.
Yes, you're playing as Nico or Hollow Knight on my screen.
I wish you would dunk the light bulb.
We might see some light bulb dunking later on in the game from my pie. Just maybe, if we're lucky. Looks like we're synced now, though.
Yeah.
I don't know when that happened, but we're synced.
I asked staff a few moments ago.
I saw that. I just didn't see what happened. I saw that. I looked at the timers when we were synced. It was funny. So I didn't see either safe code, but neither of them looked too bad. They both seem decent. Oh, I think it's the gas mask sprite is only looking one way. That's why the Hollow Knight head is turned for the gas mask the entire time. That makes sense. Hollow Knight is just running with his head facing the right. But Kris and ipie are pretty close here, only a few seconds apart. Getting into the dormitories. Getting a few items that need to make a wet sponge to clean off a robot, which we haven't actually seen yet in this run, but he's there. Hopefully ipie remembers where he is. Both runners fairly close here. Hopefully it stays that way going out of Barrens, we see a good race. Although ipie goes a little bit too far on that fast travel. Not quite where he wanted to go. Gonna be using this bottle he got to get some of that smoke. If you can find the bottle and equip it. Kris had less mistakes this run than he did last run. He had a few times he forgot the route, went to the wrong spot, forgot an item, things like that. So far, not too bad. ipie does remember where robot is this time. Last time he walked a little bit too far. Lost a lot of time to that. Some mashing here. It's very easy to keep mashing and to talk to robot again, as you see ipie do. There's not a whole lot of time between the time your text box finishes and you can mash. ipie is receiving the flex state, while Kris is about to receive the amber. Amber's probably a more helpful item for this adventure. I don't think the tower requires some flex tape to get in. Yeah,
the flex tape is used to fix a boat. that Nico will be using to escape the Barons.
In ipie's version, instead of the robot forgetting where to go, his boat's broken. He's in flex state. So Phil Swift's about to help ipie here.
This game has official Phil Swift lore.
Unofficial Phil Swift lore. That's not official. There we go. 240p Phil Swift.
It is official for this race.
Kris is green. A lot more normal. A very cute little boat sequence there, normally. And starting off the Glen, a little swampy area. So if you missed the first race and you're curious about what the world looks like, it's like there's a big circle, and the outside ring is the Barrens, the first area you saw, with all of the blue and the shrimp swamps and everything like that. This area that ipie's in now is the Glen, which is the middle ring, and it's a more swampy area, a lot of water, some bridges over it, very green. There's a little ruins area, some kind of mountainy. And then there's the refuge, which is the middle circle, which is a very red, bustling city, which happens to be where the tower is, right at the center of that. Very cool little world design there. And as Kona pointed out first race, the world is flat, so take that in-game NASA.
Shoutouts to DJ Grooves from A Hat in Time making a brief appearance.
Calamus and Alula kind of some fan favorites of this game. Alula especially.
So right now, ipie is still in the lead by quite a bit. However, there's still enough room between them that mistakes can affect stuff.
I'd also like to point out, this is a game 3, which means that there's been 6 times we've gone into this ruins, and I'm pretty sure no time have they gotten stopped by that robot. There's a robot at the start of the ruins that likes to walk in your path, and it's annoying. And I'm pretty sure they've had perfect luck with that robot, and it's very upsetting to me.
Yeah, little man. The world is flat.
The world is flat and circular. It's like a flat circle.
As the official one-shot lore.
It's like the Earth is a flat circle instead of a sphere. So ipie had some trouble with this puzzle, with this tile puzzle coming up both runs. Let's see if he can get, hopefully, third time's a charm. Game 3 clutch situation. These tile puzzles are not the easiest things in the world. They might look easy, but there we go. Oh, never mind. Spoke too soon. ipie messing up there a little bit, a lot of it. Kris going for a slightly slower route here, taking a few more steps. But ipie's talking to Lula there with that texting. Sorry, Lula. Sorry, Lori. So sorry to Lori. Well, there's shout outs to Lori also for getting this whole thing started.
Yeah, Lori was the one who initiated this tournament, and so far it's been extremely fun. There's been some really good matches so far, and it's only going to get better from here on out. Lori, I have no idea what it said.
It says like, "Sorry, Lori, no conductor for you," or something like that.
The sheep sound.
I'm so upset. I don't know what I thought when I agreed to sign up for an ipie race. I don't know what I was expecting. Actually, I was expecting this. This is exactly what I was expecting and what I deserved.
I love that so much.
I love O's Kona so much. The picture of the shepherd is a picture of Kona Sumi, my co-commentator here.
Yes.
Up in posing in front of a car.
Of a car with an anime wrap on it.
Of an anime car.
Had Love Live, had a Love Live girl on it. I don't remember who. I don't know any of the Love Live names.
ipie said no to Kalamus there that's 15 seconds.
Now that's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. Phil Swift, can you come back?
That might have actually even things out a lot.
Yeah. We're going to see just how much time. You saw Kris was behind there? Kris is already in the lead. Kris
is in the lead.
I don't know where ipie's going now. ipie got lost.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, the solo cutscene here.
Okay, yeah. I forgot.
Yeah. It's been a while since I actually said no to Calamus and follow through and not just reset the run right there. 15 seconds is a lot of time. It's such a short run like this. Not such a short run, but it's such a, I guess, easy to play, like easy to not make mistakes in, kind of. So 15 seconds is very, very big. As you can tell just by how much Kris caught up and is now in the lead.
This is crazy.
The Minecraft feather, and the dye he got from the merchant is in fact a ink sac from Minecraft. I probably went above and beyond with this one. ipie. I think ipie looked away from the screen for a second there. Probably. Kris going to bed here. Kris does not know where the bed is, apparently.
Yeah, there we go. This menu.
Down 2.
Yep, and now both players are moving into Refuge, which is the final area of the game. Anything can happen here. The gap is still pretty relatively small.
Oh, for sure, especially with Tower coming up, which you could see plenty of mistakes on Tower that can cost a run. But first, we're going to see the Minecraft ink sac combined with the Minecraft feather to make a feather pen, which should be a recipe in the game. Oh, Kris got the t-shirt. I didn't notice that. If you say no to the merchant and then you say yes to the next option, you'll get the t-shirt as well as the bottle of dye. Okay, let's see if we can see what the guard says in Refuge. We didn't get to see it last time, the big robot. Kris entering this refuge at 16:25. ipie at 16:28. So about 3 seconds behind here. Hollow Knight trying really hard to look over the railing, but can't quite because he is too short. This joke was to remove something. We'll ask ipie in the interview what that says, but that joke was removed apparently.
Replacing squares with the Roblox head. That's such a good idea.
You probably can. The squares are probably just one texture in the game. Actually, probably multiple textures gets animated.
Yeah, you could probably just manually paste all the Roblox heads on there.
We're gonna see ipie doing the same thing, not getting the coffee can right away, and instead going straight to sleep here. Very tired boy. So even though it looks like ipie's head probably not gonna end up still being ahead because Kris is gonna go right to sleep here, and then ipie has to go back and get the thing. Slightly different route. Probably not a time difference on the route. I can't imagine. Trying to think about it. It shouldn't be a time difference.
I just saw the cat with butter on it.
Yeah. It's adorable.
If you could call it a cat.
Big potato.
Baked potato.
This sink here. ipie and Kris are neck and neck going into these apartments. I imagine we're not going to see a penguin from ipie this time.
You better not go for the penguin.
If you missed it, ipie wasted a lot of time while he was pretty much neck and neck with Kris by going and talking to the penguin, who's kind of like a meme. But not great Not a great way to spend your time in a race. Oh, okay.
No, no way.
ipie.
Are you serious?
ipie.
No way. Did he just throw the race again?
ipie. I don't. There's no words.
All right. Well, Kris is in the lead.
And I know that he did. I know the ipie's watching too. Like he knows that this is a close race. So.
Hey, I love Hello Penguin as much as the next guy. Who doesn't love Hello Penguin? But this is a race of such intense closeness.
Right? I think ipie's not looking. I think he's looking away at chat for moments and is not. And just keeps walking to walls.
Yeah, I think it would take something big to recover this lead.
Kris kind of taking time on matching there and not wanting to talk to the tape dispenser again. Which ipie does not worry about that. Gets a few quick matches there. Let's see if Kris can input this code quickly and correctly, because that could inputting the code incorrectly could definitely. Yep, that could. That's a pretty big time loss. Kris still in the lead though, but ipie makes up a lot of that time by inputting the code first try fairly quickly. And we're going to see about like 2 seconds difference, maybe, which could all change in this one little matching section in the elevator. ipie trying desperately to throw this run by talking to the penguin when he was ahead by a few frames.
I'm very surprised. I wasn't expecting double penguins.
I wasn't either. Double penguin is not a very common strat in this game, as it inherently loses time.
Alright, ipie is caught up.
Yeah, ipie's caught up a little bit.
You know, I'm rooting for ipie. You know, he's doing it with the memes.
I don't know. I got to root for Kris. He's playing the game, playing the game normally, doing his best. ipie fast travels the elevator at straight, losing a few seconds there, giving Kris an even bigger lead. But it's still anyone's game for sure. Going into tower, going into kip skip.
Kris is setting up for kip skip right now. We'll see how he does.
It does not look bad. Yep.
Kris got it.
Fox to the very far right, but you know.
And
it's okay. George 4.
ipie got it.
Let's see if we can figure out what ipie got this time.
Who knows what kind of George that is?
Oh, okay. I can figure out which one this is.
You modded the game too much.
Yeah, but the tech's still the same. The narcissistic one is George 1.
Okay.
Because I saw George refer to herself as George. Yep. So whoever asked about dunking the light bulb? There it is. There is an absolute dunk. Kris with a couple second lead here. Anything can change coming up. You never know. And Kris gets the final amber. The final, not amber. Phosphor, glowy, yellow thingy. And yes, there's the dunk. Kris does get kip skip second time. What a gamer. ipie does not get it. Does not, he clicks X too early there. Loses a few seconds to that. Very unfortunate mistake.
ipie was able to correct it, which is good.
Yeah. I see a lot of players close the game there in accident. Obviously, the faster thing is not close the game and to just say no to closing it. You're going to see Kris enter this underground refuge part and head right into the tower, the final area of the game, where the boys become men. Or choke, one of the two. Hopefully not choke. I'm not quite on PvP pace right now. There's Hollow Knight. Waking up. I hope you guys are ready for this interview afterwards, regardless of who wins.
I'm not sure if we're gonna have time for an interview because TTYD starts at 8:30, and
they need to be on here.
Yeah, they probably need time to set up, so I don't think we could do an interview. Sorry.
No. Yeah.
We're cutting it really close here, as it is.
Yeah. There's a long pause between game 1 and game 2.
Yeah, we don't want to throw
sequence here.
We don't want to throw them off schedule.
No. You might like pop them in for like a question or two. We might have time for that afterwards. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. If we see 2 good towers, hopefully we can. Speaking of tower, Kris going through here. ipie's timer stopped.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Well, luckily the streams are synced. There's no endgame time or anything for this game. So, we'll know pretty quickly who wins. Unless it's a 1-frame difference, which, you know, that'd be wild. Imagine a 1-frame difference. Good door sections here from both runners. Kris was a little hesitant last game with the doors, but a lot better this time. Going into the tile puzzles here, while ipie finishes up the doors.
Alright, hopefully nothing bad happens.
Yep, hopefully not. Something interesting is that actually, you'll see at the end, both players tend to walk an extra step. I talked about that last game, but for the ones where you're not going anywhere afterwards, it is actually faster to just stop in your place, because you save a couple frames from walking. Not a huge difference, but if you can do it, it's something to think about. Kris being very careful on this light bulb. Does not want to have that cost him the race. You might know how close this race is. It does get the light bulb, that could be it. Oh, ipie messes up a little bit too.
But he gets
further cementing Kris's lead.
So it looks like Kris...
very close lead. Kris is ahead by just a few seconds, which can change definitely in the elevator and with hitting enter here on these text boxes that pop up. But we'll see. Kris poised to take this in game 3. ipie throwing away the run kind of with talking to the penguin.
It's unfortunate, but it seems like it was intended.
Yeah. ipie definitely knew what he was doing. No name change this game though. Kris entering the elevator here.
Regardless, both runners did excellent tonight. This was a really entertaining race to watch, and I hope it was the same for all the viewers at home.
Entertaining is the best word for it. Both players in the elevator here. All things considered, this is still a fairly close race. Obviously not a whole lot of time saved left for ipie, but did end up pretty close.
Alright, let's see what happens. Kris getting out the gate first, and very likely securing the win. Yes,
so it's a very low 28 here. This is about the same time as my run earlier today. My practice run. 28.09. Congratulations to Kris.
Kris has officially won. Unfortunately, we just received word that we cannot conduct an interview. We don't have enough time. However, be sure to follow both of the runners here on their Twitch channels. The OneShot community is really great. And
yes, for sure.
If you enjoyed today's race, we have a couple more coming up. in the near future.
We have one coming up tomorrow at 3 p.m. EST on Speed Gaming 3. One on Speed, and then one that's not on our channel yet on Sunday at 5 p.m. EST. Coming up on this channel right now, pretty much, is T2ID. We have Link to the Past Flaw Randomizer on Speed Gaming 2 right now. Mega Man 2 Randomizer on Speed Gaming 3. And Super Metroid on Speed Gaming 4. So, I hope you guys enjoy.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Definitely stay tuned for T2ID. I've been watching that. I watched a little bit of that the other night. It was very fun. And come back later. Thank you for watching. Peace.
Goodbye, everybody.